What's up, agents? Welcome to another Division 2 build video. My name is Patrick Wolf. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel for more Division 2 content. So this is going to be a PVE build. I've been working quite hard on this build over the last couple of days, and I finally feel like it's in a really good place. I've pretty much finished it right now, so I'll present to you guys the explosive healer build. Now, this build is focused on teamwork. It's to help my teammates while dishing out massive amounts of damage. Uh, I did not use Negotiator's Dilemma for the reason being that the explosives that I use can be destroyed by those big brutes in PvE. They run up to it and they just kick it and destroy it. So it's actually very important to have uh, a certain skill set which is hardwired. And we're going to go over that in a second. Hardwired is the reason why those big brutes cannot go to them and destroy them instantly because they get shocked. That alone is very important. Hardwired actually refreshes the skill damage and healing effects every time one of your hive recharges. So hardwired is very strong right now for PvE. Crazy strong. So I'll explain to it later on, but that's just to give you an idea because Negotiator's Dilemma is very good with Demolitionist and with explosive builds, but we have to keep in mind that this is more focused on healing as well and elements like I said before. So let's just get into this build. So the first thing you need to do is make sure you use Demolitionist. It's very important. We need to have explosive ordnance, 25% increased explosive damage. Make sure you have that. Whatever gun you want to use, you guys can use whatever gun you want with this build. I like to use my assault rifle. The LMG Pestilence would be really good for it, but it's up to you. I'm going to show you exactly how I run it, what guns I would choose if it would be stronger, but for my preference and your guys' preference, you guys should go for whatever you're comfortable with or whatever you want to use. But if you follow the build that I'm going to show you, you will have no problem blitzing through any kind of content in this game in TU6. This is an extremely good build for the raid as well. It does a lot more damage than you can believe. It's more of a healing destructive build, but your turret. Okay, so I do heroic missions, guys, and the enemies don't even come out the door. Like as they spawn, they're all dead within 2 or 3 shots of my turret. So you're gonna see why I use the turret and why I don't use seeker mines. Because people use seeker mines, and yes, seeker mines are very good, but the turret can be stronger if you know how to place it in the right place. So make sure you have the artillery turret active. It's one of my favorite skills in the game. It always has been since the explosive barrage build quite a few months ago, so I really do enjoy it. Make sure that's active. Everything else should be active as well. This is the build. Okay, so it's a 4-7-12. Now the reason why we've got 12 electronics is because of the BTSU gloves. We have got armor. 340k armor is very good for a skill build. We need that high armor because we don't want to be squishy in the difficult missions, especially in the raid. So we have 3000 skill power all round, which is perfect. It's exactly how we want it. We do not want more than 3000. That would be a waste. So make sure to not have more than 3000. Or if, let's say your mod has 3100 for some reason. I don't have any of those, but if it does, make your skill power 3100 and don't go over it. Okay, so why do I use this gun? Let's go over everything from top to bottom. So Invisible Hand is very good because I'm going to be putting enemies on the bleed a lot with this build. I've gone into in-depth thought with this, so it's going to be quite a long video. I need to explain all my reasoning, why I use these certain pieces. Grenades, any of the destructive elements will put the enemies on bleed, so Sadist is a must. So let me tell you now, this makes it... Guys, I hit 100k to golden NPCs with this build. 100,000 damage to the head with this build. It's really strong. Don't be fooled. And it's also got perfect Allegro, which means I'm doing 782 RPM. So use the Invisible Hand. It's a very strong gun. I love it for PvE. Even in PvP, it's great. I really enjoy it. Sadist and perfect Allegro, that's perfect. Also, if you're on console, overlap would be really nice for you as well. The secondary is Ruthless. Now, why do we use this? Now, I don't even have a Gear Score 500 one. It's a level 1. I still haven't found any other one. This is because I pre-ordered the game. It's quite sad. I know, guys. RNG feels bad. So the reason why is Brutality. 5% chance to deal 100% damage. So you need this because your explosive damage amplifies it. So it just makes it even more. Guys, I see 200,000 damage to the head sometimes. It's ridiculous. That's why I use it. So make sure you have Merciless or Ruthless, whichever one you have as your secondary, because that's the holstered talent. Alright, so the reason why I've gone for hardwired, like I was saying, and not Negotiator's Dilemma, is because the brutes will destroy your turret if you use Negotiator's Dilemma. It really helps because they run up to it, they get shocked, and he's incapacitated. Your teammates can heal or can fight him. As you saw from the footage, the hive is massive in this. It heals half your armor in a second. Even if you have 500,000 armor, it'll heal it in half a second. It's crazy when the BTSU is procced. And the reason why I use the turret and not Seeker Mines is because the turret procs the BTSU gloves. Let me tell you now, guys. People say I use Seeker Mines and the hive, healer hive. The Stinger Hive actuates it, but the Stinger Hive is so situational. You have to throw it, pick it up again, throw it. It's very clunky. You can use it if you want, but this turret is unreal. It's ridiculously strong. 1,000,000 damage a shot, and I get like 9 bullets, guys, and it's got a 12-second cooldown. All right, don't worry about what it says there. That's wrong, because this applies the bleed status effect. So the sadist works perfectly with this build. You do massive amount. You can clear an entire room of heroic NPCs without firing your gun. Your teammates don't have to do anything. You just destroy them before they can even start shooting at you while they're still in the doorway. It's crazy strong. If you guys know me, you know I like to use this. In PvP, it's very good, but like I said, this is a PvE build. That procs the BTSU because people say use a grenade to proc the BTSU and explosive ammo. That's ridiculous. That is such a pain. I would never ever think of doing that. So that's why the turret for me is perfect, and it's so much fun to use. It just rains down hell on the enemies. It's really cool. The hive, perfect because it heals my entire team. I don't want to be selfish with my heals. I could have the God Chem launcher heals, but it'll heal your entire team. I have 37 charges. I'll show you all the modding. So I'm just giving you an idea of how this build works. You put your turret up somewhere high. You rain down hell while you're shooting the sadist, and you drop your your hive, and it will be doing massive amounts of healing. 130% extra healing plus hardwired refreshes. So every time the hive one refreshes on the hive, it refreshes the hardwired buff, which I will get into just now. So it just makes it even stronger using a hive and a turret because it's always refreshing. So I hope you guys understand why I've put these pieces together. So let me just go over every single piece individually, then go over the skills and the stats. The mask. You might be thinking, oh, well, why aren't you using the China Light Industries for 10% explosive damage? Why on earth would you do that? You have ridiculous amounts of explosive damage already. Why not go for 20% skill haste? That is ridiculously strong. You might be saying, well, hardwired, your skills get refreshed when you heal your teammates, which is true. Or you get a skill kill. But let me tell you now, it doesn't happen more than twice. It'll happen twice, and then you have to get your cooldown. So we will always have our turret and our hives coming very quickly because it's important, especially in the raid. So that's why I've gone for skill haste there. 46% DTE, very nice, plus surge. So guys, that's 40% skill haste just from the mask. That's very important because the hardwired is good for that. Like let's say you guys decide to use Seeker Mines. You throw your Seeker Mines, the hardwired actually procs them again. You heal a teammate to procs it again, but then you will have to go through the cooldown. So it's very nice to have that cooldown shortened, especially if you use skills that require quite a long cooldown. That's why I've gone for that mask. You can go ahead and roll China Light and put Surge, but I feel like this 20% skill haste is very, very important for this build. Chest piece, this is hardwired, so we're going to go over this 20% skill power for the hardwired. Electrify deployed skills, the hive. So the hive and the turret will be electrified. Enemies will not be able to touch it. That's very, very good. Killing with a skill resets the cooldown of your other skill, repairing a friendly agent's armor. So we're just going to be getting resets all over the place. Can occur every 15 seconds. So every now and again, that skill haste will come into play, and you will get. Trust me, guys. You don't need more explosive damage. You can two-shot those dogs, those golden dogs. You can three-shot those big brutes in heroic missions. It's ridiculous. So I've rolled skill power, weapon damage, and total armor. Try get your armor up high. It's not too important because you will be healing yourself very quickly, but you don't want to be too tanky. Destructive, that's where we're getting all our explosive damage from. We cannot stack it. Make sure you put on your chest piece or wherever. You remember, guys, it's a template. You can have it on your backpack or on your chest piece. The reason why I've put these is because the backpack and the chest piece have talents on them. That's why we're running this on the hard wide. You can go for something else on the backpack. We'll get into that just now, but this is just the way that I want to run it because it's the strongest way, the pieces that I have. So on the holster hardwired again, we have 7-2 on skill power with 7% health. That's okay. It could be better. I might reroll some more. Whenever you're modding all of these gear pieces, make sure to put skill power, bleed damage, explosive damage, things like that. It's very important as well. Don't overlook these mods. There are some crazy strong mods in this game right now, especially the red mods. As you can see, I've got one there. What have I got in it? Weapon damage. That's a bad mod. We're going to change that right now. That's wasting. So I think I've got some assault rifle damage mods. In the vendor resets right now, guys, we have 5% LMG damage. So there we go. I've just bought one. So make sure to go and put that on your build. It's very, very important. I'm probably just going to go for an assault rifle damage. So I've got a 3% there. I can take that off there. There we go. So we've got a bit more assault rifle damage. So now I'm at 17.5. Not bad. Backpack. This has got a talent on it. Very important. Hard hitting. 25% DTE. Now you can swap them around. You can have a surge or whatever on the backpack or the mask, depending how you want to do it. But the reason why I've gone for these 3 talents is because of the way I play and the build that I'm using. So we need to get that extra DTE. Armor 21k, 20.5% total armor. That's why my armor is so high. The backpack was important. 297 skill power. Now, I wanted to bring this up again. If you guys want to put hardwired, let's say, on the mask or whatever you want to do, you can run perfect tech support. It's actually at Cassie Mendoza right now. I think it is. Cassie Mendoza. Just check my vendor reset videos. Kills by active skills and explosions grant plus 30% skill damage. Very nice. You can run this if you want. This is what I would go for if you want to run a normal backpack. So just to give you guys the option, but I don't need to do that, to be honest. The way that I run this build, I don't really want that. So you can just go crazy and do whatever you want. BTSU glow is very important. We're not going to go over that because energy infusion will always be procced. We are getting 120% extra healing and damage for our turret. So that's very important. You must have this on your build. If you guys want to go for another talent or not the BTSU and you want to use your Seeker Mines, I would recommend that because proccing the BTSU, they must always be procced. And with this build, the way I've set it up, they will always be procced. So it's very important to keep that in mind. Skill haste is a must to roll on this unless you're lacking in the skill power and you need it. Maybe you've only got 2,800. So that would be very important to get that. What have I rolled in explosive damage? Again, 5%. That's 5,800 armor and 3% total armor. Explosive resistance, a lovely defensive mod. I'm getting some crazy good mods. So have a look. I heard rumors there's 10% armor mods, which is ridiculous. But if that's true, if we get one in the vendor, I'm going to buy 100 of them. So we're going to see. But those are pretty much the pieces. I hope you guys understand. There are different ways to run this build. But if you really think about it and what I've explained to you guys, the reason why I run this build like this, you will understand why I do it. Is because the mask is a very important element to any kind of build. And if you have hardwired there, you can't put a talent. You might not get the right damage to elite mod, but it depends on your pieces. You can reroll it however you want. As long as you're tanky, as long as you have 3k skill power, explosive damage must be rolled. Have your skill haste very high and have that extra DTE, you're good to go. So let's go over the stats quickly. Weapon damage 17k. Crit chance, that is not important. Let me tell you guys right now. 10% all weapons damage bonus. I've got 71% damage to elite, which is really good for a skill build. So you'll still be putting out massive amounts of damage. 68% explosive damage, which is high. We've got all the nice juicy talents there. It's lovely. No protection from elites. We don't need that because our hive will just mitigate all the damage. Burn resistance 20%. I don't know where I got that from, but very nice. Cooldown. So we've got 60% skill haste, guys. Rounded off. That's perfect. That's enough. I would not go below 30%. I know hardwired is a good one because of the cooldowns and they reset. But let me tell you now, especially if you're using a Seeker Mine, you want more skill haste. So make sure to mod. But you do get a lot of it from your mods. So it really does help. So my turret has a cooldown of 28 seconds. What I normally do is when it's got one bullet left, I destroy it. And it has like a 12 to 13 second cooldown, which is, I don't know if that's abusing it, but it really works for me. Hive as well, refill speed 2, so 60% skill haste there. Range 15 meters. That's crazy. That's massive. Guys, you can flood the whole room with it. It's really good. And I don't know if the devs fixed the turret, but in low ceilinged rooms, you can actually shoot and it doesn't go too high. It stays low. So it like stays low and doesn't hit the ceiling and it actually bounces off the ceiling. It doesn't just blow up when it hits the ceiling. So not many people know that, but they did change it. It actually bounces off ceilings. Then it goes back down and hits the enemy. So if you're thinking of playing a mission indoors, before in TU5, it was a bit of a situation because your this thing could kill you. The turret could kill you, but nowadays it bounces. It doesn't do too much damage to you anymore. So they have fixed it for us, which is nice. So this is where it gets very interesting. Now I've got some good mods for this. I've got 97% damage as a purple mod. I don't know why. Then I have, this is very important. You need this. If you don't have this, you're going to have a bad time because the more ammo, the better. Plus 5 mortar ammo. So that gives me 9 bullets, which is crazy strong. And then 148% damage. I love it. You guys will have 100% damage there anyway, so you can put that on if you don't have anything. So make sure to put everything on there. The hive, I don't have any good ones for this mod here, this mod slot. I got damage mods and buff duration, but I do have 48% charges, which is okay. I need some better mods. I've been struggling to get mods. Radius is very important if you're playing in a team. This build is primarily based for teamwork. It's really good for your team. This hive will keep your team alive, and it'll carry people through missions. It's my favorite way of running hardwired. Now you can make different types of builds with that special terminate glove talent without having to proc the BTSU. There's lots of options which I'm aware of, and I'm making builds for those options, but this is my explosive healer build. So I hope you guys understood my explanations of why I run the pieces I do. This is my go-to PvE build. If you play a mission and you see me in your group, I will be using this, and people love the turret. It's hilarious. It's like raining down hell. So it's really fun to use, and I love using it. It helps my team a lot. And I hope you guys give it a try and you use it because it's really strong, and I love this build. But anyways, guys, that's another build video. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel for more Division 2 content and drop a like for me. I would really appreciate that. And I'll be seeing you agents in the next video. Peace out, boys.